Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, friends. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chat Couture. If you happen to be looking for inexpensive, easy to use, easy to clean, DIY craft products and projects, you are in the right place. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. I happen to be in central Kansas. It has been a dreary, rainy day, but we do need the rain. Hoping for some nice, sunny spring weather this weekend. Hello, Miss Ashley. Welcome. She says hi again. So once I put my camera down, you'll have to check out my fun nails from Miss Ashley. I'm super excited about them this weekend. I do want to let you know I'm live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person might be watching on a different platform. And if you wouldn't mind, at some point during the project this evening, please feel free to like the video, and if you wouldn't mind also sharing the video out, that helps my channel. That also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content, and they will show you more content like this. And as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. So see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. So with that, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to flip the camera. Okay, so you have to check out my cute little NASCAR inspired nails. So we are going to the NASCAR race at Kansas Speedway this weekend. So that is what the checkerboard, kind of the start finish line pattern on my middle finger, and then on my ring finger are these cute little watermelon, because my favorite driver, the #1 Ross Chastain, is a watermelon farmer, and one of his things is smashing a watermelon whenever he wins, and I'm hoping to see a smashed watermelon this weekend. Okie doke, I'm doing something totally different this evening. I have been working on let's see if I can flip this one over. These cute little, let's turn it this way. These little mason jar flower bouquets. So I started with these, I think they're, I don't remember if they're 4-ounce or 8-ounce. They were kind of a collector's edition when I bought them a long time ago. I've probably had them for 3-ish years. Hello, Miss Bonita, welcome. So I've had them for long enough that they are now not available anymore. So I apologize, you cannot get these cute little squatty mason jars anymore, but there are other mason jars that you could use. So I painted them with about 3 coats of chalk paint. This one is a folk art yellow paint. So then I also did, actually this one is mine. I also used ballet slipper pink from Waverly, which our Walmart now carries. Woot woot. I also used a kind of a turquoise color. I'm sorry, I don't have the specific names, but this one is also from Folk Art. And then I also did white Folk Art paint, chalk paint as well. So I painted like 3 or 4 coats, and then I kind of took some of my dark wax and I used some of my Dixie Belle wax, which I've now put away, to kind of highlight some of the edges of these raised areas. And then I did a couple coats of spray sealer, and then I added the ring back on. I did not add the lid back in. And then what you do on the inside, some of this is stuck in there, but none of it's glued, is there is a pool noodle that I cut about 1 1/4 inches width. And so the pool noodle is glued to the bottom of the jar, and then I added some Spanish moss down into this hole. I put a bunch of hot glue down into that hole, and then I shoved some Spanish moss down in there, and then I glued Spanish moss all around the top of the lid. And now we are ready to glue in some of these flowers. Some of these I did from a kit from Heart Grooves Handmade on Etsy. Some of them I have patterns from back when Flora Designs was still in business. Some of them I already had in my stash, so I just kind of piecemealed. They are a lot brighter than my example. This is the example I was going off of. This is from Dolly's Doohickey. She is on Instagram and Etsy. It's kind of where I got my inspiration. She just used 3 flowers, but of course I have to be a little extra, so I used lots of flowers. And like, I'm not particularly fond of this pink flower, so I'm going to make a yellow flower to match the center of that flower. So I have a couple of patterns in my stash. So I have a paper, this was a paper pattern, and I traced it onto one of the Dollar Tree flexible cutting mats so that I had a more durable template. This one is in paper. I've also, some of these are free-handed, like these little guys are just a rectangle that you fold over. I'll do a tutorial. It may be maybe like a preloaded tutorial, but we'll do a tutorial on them. I don't have a whole lot of time to do a tutorial for these right at the moment, but I will definitely do one at a later date. But so I've used dies, I've used paper templates, and then some of them you just have to freehand. So I have already traced this one on this piece of felt, so I just use a pen. Typically I would use a friction pen because it does erase with heat, so you wouldn't see the mark. I don't know if you can see the name brand on that. Ooh, my camera is slow. There you go. So this is friction. You can get them at Dollar General now. You can get them at Walmart. But the ink disappears with heat, so they are nice for if you're sewing or doing any quilting, things like that. If you need to make some marks but you want them to go away, then you can use that friction pen. So I'm just going to cut along my lines. I also have, I've turned these patterns into files that I can cut on my Cricut Maker, which I've also cut a few flowers that way. So I just thought we'd put these together. We'd assemble them together and we can kind of chit chat as I get these finished. I'll take 4, if I can get them done, to Raised Rustic tomorrow or Friday. And then the other 4 will hopefully go to Flipping Fabulous. So it'd be perfect for Mother's Day. I think it would be a great teacher gift. I can't cut that direction. Okay. Just make even a great little neighbor gift. Welcome to the neighborhood. Child care providers, I think it's Child Care Appreciation Day is, it might have been today actually, I think. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get into here. This is the opposite way that I like to cut, but we'll get it done. Keep going around. Okay, sorry, I'm concentrating so I don't go over the lines. How's everyone doing this evening? Okay. Trying to get here where my pen moved. Okie doke. Ashley says it doesn't happen very often when her kids are getting along and playing chess together. I can't make a big deal of. Oh, well, mark it down. Oh, Benita said she had to hop off a little bit. Your mom needed her, but she's well, welcome back. Okie doke. So I just use a hot glue gun. I'm trying to remember. I don't think. I'm trying to remember which end I start with. I think I'm going to start with this. I think on this one it doesn't really matter. But I think I'm going to start with the smaller end because it makes more sense to have the. Okay. So I'm just going to add some hot glue. It helps to have a finer tip hot glue gun. Like Surebonder has a really nice fine detail tipped hot glue gun, but mine leaks like a sieve, so I actually just threw it away the other day. I forgot to check. This one has a good one. We'll heat that one up. This one doesn't, the AdTech one doesn't last as long, although it is my preferred glue gun. I'm just gonna keep adding glue. I don't know if you can see the difference in the tip. Like that one's just kind of a blunt tip, whereas this one has a longer, skinnier tip. So that's a little bit better for felt. It's not heated up enough. So I'm just going to keep adding glue along the bottom edge. And then I'm just going to keep rolling it up. These spirals are my favorite type of flower to make. Ashley says she's never made them. They look fun. They're fun to make. They're just slightly time consuming. But I sat on the couch the other day. I think that was, I don't know if that was Sunday or Saturday night, and made a bunch while I was watching the race. Okay, where's my tweezers? Sometimes you can come back in here and fiddle with that center a little bit. Although I'm not very picky. I just am glad when they get done. So there's that one. And you can make it a little looser. That way it's a little bigger. So I think we'll pull this one out. I had this pink flower in here with this. I think I'll try the yellow one. And I'm going to have to probably make some more leaves. I think I like, oops, I forgot about that flower. I think that'll work. I need to get some, and then I have some leaves down here that we can add. I think maybe we'll add if I can find. There's one. Just to add a little bit more. We'll cover up that fold with one of them. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. Oops. And then I think I'll add one on the other side. Do I have to use the same material? Like, do you felt for the leaves? You can add in, and I forgot to bring my box over. You can also add in, you can mix silk flowers or faux flowers with felt. These aren't the ones I would use, but like you could add in, wait, I have some down here. You could add in something like that that sticks out. I do have these down here. So like these little guys, like you can stick those, like you could even stick them on the side of this flower, or let's stick that one on the bottom. Some of them you just have to be careful because they might melt in the hot glue just a little bit. So let that one sit. These are on a little wire, so I will just Oh, my foam came out. That's what I was afraid of that. Okay, so let's glue. Like this felt florist she put leaves on every flower. I think it's a little cramped because like this one is kind of smushed in there a little bit. If you look at it from the side, and like that one is kind of smushed in there. So I don't think I'm going to put leaves on every flower. Otherwise it's gonna get too crowded. So we'll put that one there. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this wire. And then I'm going to stuff it down in there. And then I like to kind of hide the ends of the flowers kind of underneath other flowers. And you could also stick it to where it kind of sticks up like that, which we might do that. We'll just stick that bottom side down. That way you can't see it. Hopefully that'll. Oops. And then we're going to stick this to the bottom and then this to the other flower. So I've got glue on two parts. And we're going to squeeze this little guy in. And then let's put another one of these. I'm going to add another one of these little guys somewhere. And stick it in there. Use my little orange peeler. So there we go. And that Spanish moss kind of hides everything. You don't see any of your holes. So we've got that one done. Cute. Super fun. Flowers that never die. Okie doke, let's pull this one. So this one has leaves. These are fern leaves, so I stuck the leaves to wire so you can bend them and then made little snips along the edges. Ashley says so cute. And she says they look so real from the camera. Thank you. They're fun to make. Okay, just figure out how to tackle this one. So I think this one has all sorts of things on it. So I think we'll just start. And I kind of like to figure out what the focal flower is. Like on this one, my focal flower was this one. So I like to have the ball part of the mason jar showing. So I think this is ivory one is going to be my focal flower, and it's just made with a bunch of, I don't know if you can see that, they're just like 1.5 or 2 inch circles, and then you make a flat end, and then you just kind of layer them all up. I hope to get them, if I can get 4 of them done tonight, then I'll take those to Flipping Fabulous tomorrow. So yes, that's my plan. Let's see, let's add some, these are some gargantuan leaves. Those if I cut, so I'm going to cut a little slit in this one. I'm going to add a tiny bit of glue, and I'm going to overlap the slits so it kind of makes a cupped leaf. And then I'm going to stick it, and we're going to glue that one on. And then you can kind of fold it out a little bit so it sticks out. Do that again. I'm going to make a little snip. So you're asking if I'll be putting some of these in my booth? I'll have 4 of these mason jar bouquets in my booth, hopefully. Okay, so let's get that one glued down. And kind of do it to the side. I'll hold that down just a little bit. Okay, and then I think I have my leaves next. I'm gonna trim the wires a bit. Okay, so let's stick some glue on that. I'm just going to stick it down into the pool noodle. You have to be kind of careful where you stick it, because where you've glued down that Spanish moss makes it so it doesn't want to go down in there very well. Okay, now I can't remember where anything else goes. I think I'll put that there. So I'm just going to kind of place things. I think. All right, I think I remember it going. And then I don't think I'll use that one. Maybe I will. So these are just like a single petal that I have folded together. I don't think I have anything like that. Well, so like I do. So like you could take this flower petal and you just fold it in half once and kind of alternate the leaves like that, or the petals. And then you're going to fold it again. You could leave it like that and actually stick it under a flower. And you can also fold it again. And it makes this little, kind of this little bunch. So I might actually put the two gray ones together. Almost needs a different color. Some of my color combinations are a wee bit wild. Jason says he loves these. Just try not to add so many colors, but it's kind of add a pink. I thought I had this all figured out, but it has too much yellow. I think if I do it that way, I think that works. What do you think? You know, it's probably kind of hard for you to. Okay, well, let's just do that. Okay, so let's put some glue on this one. And since I'm doing these over and over and over again, feel free to come and go as you need to. I won't be offended. This way we can just kind of chit chat. This one is just two flower petals put together, and then there's a strip of felt, and then a little cute little felt ball. Ashley says that one is cute too. Ouch. I did get that one a little smushed, but that's okay. Let's do this one next. I'll just stick that one in the top. And then we'll stick this one in. And then we'll layer these two together. This one is a light gray one, and since I already have a light gray flower over here, we'll kind of put it on the bottom. So we'll layer, ow, the darker one on top. That glue is hot. So there we go. There's another one. Super cute. Okay, let's move on. So this one is a yellow one. So I have all sorts of little things stuck in here. It's a little busy. Okay, where do I want to start? Let's put some leaves on this one. I think we'll do two that kind of stick out the front.
My ace.
I kind of want to control, I want to limit the greens that I have. Like these were a little light, so I think we'll use these two. I could also, oh, that's too dark. Okay, let's just use these two. I'm kind of put them in the front. Ouch. Kind of like that. I haven't used that Gorilla Glue gun for a while. I forgot how hot it gets. Youch. So we'll kind of stick that there. And it'll kind of rest on a little bit on the rim of the lid, which will give it something to stick to. This one might have too many leaves. Okay, I think we'll do this one next. So some of this felt is like a wool blend felt that I get from a place called Benzie Designs. This pink one and this pink one are a thicker felt that I've gotten at Hobby Lobby. I'm not a felt snob by any means. Some people only swear by a wool blend, but some of this stuff is actually acrylic felt, which has more of a plastic blend. I don't have a big preference. I think we'll do it that way. There we go. So we'll put this one down. Use whatever you have. Use whatever you can source. I'm sure some of this is Walmart felt. Probably should have stuck one of these in there. It needs a little bit of height. So I stick this one in. And like this one it ends right there. So I try to like bury that under another flower or put it down to where it's on the bottom. I don't know if I want all of that greenery. Oh, I forgot there was another yellow flower. Who will? Kind of like that. What do you think of that? I haven't finished it yet, but I guess they don't all have to be big and poofy. Save those leaves. So let's put these in. Sometimes less is more, I guess. Okay, come on, get in there. And then you can just kind of floof it out. Cute. Oops. That one totally just fell off of the wire. So we'll just stick that in there. Ashley says it looks cute to her. Love that yellow. Pretty, pretty. Okay. Let's do, this one's kind of a farmhouse-ish. It has a kind of a farmhouse vibe. So it's the white ball jar. It's a pretty little ivory flower. So let me, I think we'll just, I think we'll add some leaves on. So I'm just going to curve that up the side a little bit. And then we'll add another little dollop right there. Okay. So then we're going to stick that one down. Okay. So this one has just kind of some ivory, gray, and kind of a mustard color. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that one down right back there. I've got stuff stuck everywhere. Okay, so then stick this one down. We're going to stick that one. This one almost needs, maybe this one. So this is just a single felt ball with a couple of pieces of green felt added for some leaves. That might be a cute contrast. I can get it stuck in there somewhere. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. I'm going to cut a little bit of wire off. I'm going to add some glue. Get that stuck down in there. Cute. And then we'll stick that one. And then I've got these leaves that we can stick in. And then they can, since they're on wire, they can kind of be bent. And then I think we'll stick that one there. cute. Love that one. Cute little felt ball. Makes a little flower bud. Okay. I've got glue strings everywhere. This one is quite bright. I'm not for sure. Let's play with the placement a little bit. Since these are both big, I think I'll oppose them. Kind of like that. Oops. Now, might be too big. Ashley says so pretty. She also says she thinks it would be fun to work in a flower shop. I just don't know if I have enough creativity. Some of these look like they're kind of a hot mess. But yeah, all the different colors available. Okay. This one's actually made with a leaf-shaped petal, so they're very similar to these. They're all constructed very similarly. It just changes the way the flower looks depending on the shape of the petal. Okay. Stick that one down.
Oh.
We'll put these leaves in. And then you can kind of bend them to where they go down. Stick that one in down there. And we've got this little guy. I don't know if he might look kind of dumb down there, right there in the middle. Like that there. But there's kind of a hole there. It's almost too many colors. Wow. Wonder. I think I can't make up my mind. I don't think I like that there. Looks like a big old afterthought, which it is. But it looks kind of silly because you can see that edge, but I don't know what to put there. Decisions. I think maybe if I just stick one of these little plastic floral things down in there, that might work. And I have a whole bunch more of those. Actually, let me go get something real quick. Oh. I have quite the arsenal of things. So I have some more of these. What do I have down here? I don't know about that. I also have, what's in here? Something like that would look out of place. I don't know if that looks out of place. Let's get some more of that out. Maybe we'll just work with that. Okay, too much stuff. Let me show you this real quick. I mentioned before, some of these are from kits that I got on Etsy. Heart Groves Handmade. Let's see. So it comes with these little pieces that and instructions that just helps you put them together. Let me see. Yep. Oh, except I don't know if I should show you part of that. Some of this shouldn't see, but you're going to be able to. So there's where I get those. The heartgroveshandmade.com. You can also find her on Etsy. And so some of these are kits that I have purchased. Mainly because I know I have a lot of the dyes that she uses. So I have the instructions now to make a lot of make these. Okay, let's just cut some of these off. Does that look goofy? Sticking up out of there. Jason says, can you put a sprig of baby's breath? I don't have any, but I do have these, so we'll just kind of go with this. Hopefully I don't melt it. This is as close as I Can come to baby's breath. I think that works. I could also put some underneath some of these flowers just to make it look, Ashley says looks good to me. So I think these were part of a bush or a stem that I bought at Hobby Lobby. Pretty sure either that or Walmart. That might be too much. I think that works fine. Okay, let's keep trucking. I've got junk everywhere. So in this one has a piece of a lamb's ear stuck to it, which you can get garlands or bushes like that at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. Which I think I might actually just take it off. We'll add our own leaves. So I think I'll use some of these. There's some more. So these are some of my favorite ones to use. I just really like those. And it matches with that. That's kind of what it looks like hanging out of there. They're a little tricky to glue on. I'll use this one. Ooh, there's some steam coming off that glue gun. So I do a little bit on the stem, a little bit on the leaves. It looks really cute. This is where that detail tip comes in handy. So I just run a little bead up the stem and just a tiny bit across those leaves. And then there's that one. So let's make sure. This one has some smaller flowers to it. And then it also has these cute little buds. So it's a smaller felt ball with a very small set of petals around the bottom. So let's put that one there, and we'll build around that flower. How y'all doing? What am I doing with these? I'm hopefully going to sell them. I'm going to put 4. I have 2 of each color. So I'm going to take 4 to Flipping Fabulous and then 4 to Raised Rustic. And then hopefully people will purchase them and they can give them to their mothers. Or, I mean, they don't even have to be for Mother's Day, although that would be really pretty. These would be fun, like if you made little May Day baskets for your coworkers. I know that's already passed. I've done missed that. Those are the okay. Let's put this one back there. Trying to match up the color, the greenery colors, so I don't have so many colors. Okay, so I think let's add a I think I'm going to add these. These kind of have a little bulb at the bottom of the leaf. I'm going to add those to this flower to where they kind of stick up. Like that. Add that one right there. And then I think I'm going to stick them to where they kind of go up and down, just to give it a little bit of dimension up here, because these flowers are a little bit flatter. They're not as poofy. I think I have a few more flowers that I need to squish in here. I'm not going to get that one, but that's okay. I'll stick that one on. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Put a bunch of glue on there, and we'll stick her right there. Then I've got two of these little buds that will stick in, maybe. Eh. Well, they might not need it. I don't think we need both of them. Nope. I kind of like that. That gives it a little bit of a triangle, so you've got that peachy color here, here, and here. So we'll just glue that one in. There's that one. There's the front. We've got just a few more. I think two more actually. Pull this one. And we'll be done. Woot woot! Okay, I think we've got that one. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Okie doke. This one has a really pretty pink bloom. Okay. I think we'll add, do I have any of that color? I might add one more of that one. So we'll stick that one. Maybe. She'd be wild. Okay. This one may not get as many leaves. It's got a lot going on. Uh-oh. Where did that one? Oh, wait, that goes there. I was like, no. Okay, let's stick this one down. Because she's the star. I think I'm just going to go around, start gluing these down. Pull these out. I'm going to glue the leaf down. I think my pool noodle popped up on this one, I think. We'll stick this down because it's got to go under the flower. Then you can bend it down. And we'll stick this one down. This one is also made with that really thick felt from Hobby Lobby. I think it was like a 2mm felt. It'd be double so thick. Stick that one there. And then, oops. They don't ever end up the way that I styled them to begin with. Let's try this. Just for something a little different. I think I like that. And then I still have this little bud to, I'm going to do it. I don't think I want the little bud. So I think we'll glue, I think we'll use that one. We'll glue that in. Try to fluff her up a little bit. Ow, my foot's going to sleep. And then we'll kind of jam that in there. And then we need to get these glued in. We'll bend those down a little bit. Pretty. I like that pink one. So there's that one. So I just added a little bit of silk flowers to this. Okay, then we have one more. Oh, I gotta move. My foot's going to sleep. Okay. So this one has a big flower. And it came up. I hope that's not going to be a problem, but probably should use some different glue. Okay, so we have one of those leaves. Jason says he loves the nails. Great job, Glamorous Nails by Miss Ashley. It's not the same color. That is such a big flower, or big leaf. But a big flower deserves some big leaves, right? Probably only have one left. Oh, here's one. I have a mess. Big, big mess. Okay. Let's glue those down. I'm going to be so excited to knock these off my list. I've had these jars up in my craft closet for literally years. I'm just sad I can't find them anymore. I'll have to find a different jar. Okay, so we'll start with that. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. Stick that stinker down. Okay, I'm going to put this one back here. Kind of lift the petals up a little bit. And I'm going to kind of curl the petals out just a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to be able to see this back side. Slap some more glue down. Okie doke. Then we have this yellow one we can stick in there. Ouch. Ow. That hurt. Don't melt my nails. Okay, I don't really need a different color. I do have, I don't think that one would be too big. Do pink. Ooh, that's not bad. What do you think of that little pink one stuck in there? It's kind of close to that peach one, but nope, do the yellow one. Okay. Can't feel anything. Down to my toes. Okay, I'm just kind of playing, trying to cover up. That's sweet. Just kind of trying to cover up the backside of this peachy colored flower. I think you can stick that down in there. Ouch. I need a pair of like Jason's aquaponic tweezers and jam it down in there. Do my own aquascaping. Ha! Except now I need to glue it. Stick that down in there. Perfect. It hides the petals and it gives a little more green color, a little more balance. I like these. So cute. Okay, let's flip the camera. Ooh, I'm sweaty. So you can see them. So here is this one. There's the front. So try to spin them a little bit so you can see them. There's that one. Here's the one we just did. So there's the front. Super pretty. So pretty. There's this one. Cute pink one. The last two are your favorite. So this one and this one, I think. I can't remember. So there's that one. And then the sweet little yellow one. It's a little more flat than the other ones are. That's not a bad thing. And then kind of the farmhouse one with the mustards, the grays. There's the front. Jason says he loved the project and they're beautiful. Thank you. And then we've got this one. So it's a little more sticky outy. Oh, our leaves got a little carried away with those leaves. But I like this one. I think this one's pretty. Especially if you like kind of those boho 70s muted colors. And then this sweet little yellow one is also, the yellow ones are a little flat. They're not as tall. And then this sweet one, just the turquoise one. It's very pretty. I like it. I think I really like this one. I like how it turned out. And I like this one for doing our, maybe my top 3. And then I think it's a tie between this one and this one. No, they all turned out cute. Cute. So here's my cute little, all of my little floral bouquets. So if you're interested in one, You might want to run down to Flipping Fabulous or Raised Rustic this weekend. Anybody have any questions? And I had nothing to do with Chalk Couture, which was kind of fun. Different but fun. Next week I should be getting my package over the weekend with some of the new summer things. So if you have not checked that out, I have the lookbook. I think it's I've got a video of the lookbook, and then I also have the lookbook linked on my Facebook page. So you're welcome to go check that out. Trying to think, what am I forgetting? I don't know. I won't be live this weekend because I won't be available. So, so there's that. I think I will, hopefully if I'm recouped from the weekend, I will be live again on Monday. I will get that scheduled, and we should hope to have a fun little project. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off so I can get these priced so that they are ready to go. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I know it was just me putting stuff together, but I appreciate all of your support and all of the kind words, and I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.